Okay.
And
you're going
What
to
are
talk
we-
about your adventure.
Yeah.
your adventure.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
called the Family and Consumer Science. I'm going to call it Family and Consumer Science Seminar for teachers. It was for teachers, so they get their act 48 hours. You know, they get certain, but I'll just call it was a seminar for family and consumer science teachers.
That is so cool.
They call it FACS.
Yeah.
FACS.
Facts.
Family and Consumer Science.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
we're live.
That's a
Okay,
little,
hi.
Good
Hi,
morning.
everybody. Welcome to Gloria Horn Sewing Studio, and today is something different. And Sherry's going to show us how to make a little pair of boys' shorts on the Serger today. So we're excited about that. First I'll go through. If you are on Facebook and this is your very
This is the
first
spiel.
time that you are with us and you'd like to shop with us, you will need to register. So you'll go up to the comment bar and type in register, and then you'll go in and put your first name, your last name, your email. You'll create a password. You can go back and complete it later and watch our show, and then you'll be able to shop with us when we're done. And then also, if you are on the app, you're all set and ready to go. So I'm hoping we have some new people on the app, because we were with a group of home economics teachers yesterday, and they were really excited about it. So I'm hoping we have a couple of new people. But anyways, I'll talk about that in a minute. So, but if you're on the app, you're all set and ready to go, and you can view our video now, or you can wait later today, or you can view all of our videos for up to a year. And then also we are on YouTube and Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter and
Twitch.
okay.
Yeah.
That's the tricky
TikTok.
TikTok, okay. But we're not able to shop there yet, or
Not
can only
yet.
shop
not yet,
Facebook
but
and
it's
the
very,
app.
very
Our app.
soon. Yeah, and then we have just the app and Facebook, but we will be able to shop on those other platforms soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
It does. It takes a lot of work to be able to do those other platforms, and it's in the process. And
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Getting
PJ, and he's
He's our technical guy.
he's making arrangements for all of that, and so hopefully we'll be on everything very, very soon. Okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to tell you about our experience for the last 2 days. Gloria, Steve, and I went to IUP, that's Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and then we also went to Penn State University, and we showed family and consumer science teachers. They had like a seminar, and we gave them ideas on what they can do to teach sewing to their high school and junior high classrooms.
Which is coming back.
Which
to
is, yes,
Pennsylvania.
it's coming back to Pennsylvania. So what we showed them was a lot of the upcycling with the jean jackets. We've had a really good time kind of decorating jean jackets. So they all had that experience of sewing some decorative stitches on jean jackets, and we took doilies and they were able to place them. And then they also, Tommy was able to show all of his sweatshirts, and talk about those, because it's something that they could purchase to teach sewing in their classroom, and they really liked that. So they got a little bit more experience with the Serger, and we just talked to them, showed them lots and lots of samples, and it was really fun. So we went to IUP. Gloria and I also went to IUP many, many years ago, so it was kind of fun to go back and see how much it's grown. And then we went on to Penn State, and that was a really nice experience. We stayed in the hotel called the Graduate, and it was the cutest thing. It was really fun to be there. It was like a little mini museum for Penn State. So the whole place was wallpapered. So lots and lots of wallpaper, but it was all Penn State related. So everything was blue and white, and the restrooms had the Nittany Lion wallpaper in it. And it was just very collegiate looking. Everything was plaid.
Who was in that photo?
Oh,
Was that photo in your room? The painting of some gentleman?
yeah. Oh, yeah. So they, yeah. So which one did you? What
Can I
do
show
you
them
have?
this? Can I show them this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's turn up the brightness.
So, okay. Yeah. This one. Okay. This was in the hallway. If you take a good look at this, that's wallpaper behind
Oh,
behind
the
me.
books.
Yes, and the books. The whole floor was wallpapered, so like that to make it look like a library. And you got in it, and you sort of felt like you were in a maze. It was a little busy, but anyways, they had lots of portraits like that of people that went to Penn State, and that person was he was on Modern Family, and he's a realtor on Modern Family. And was it?
Ty Burrell?
No
Yes,
kidding.
yes.
Huh, he went to Penn State.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really interesting. We saw a portrait of Franco Harris, because he went to Penn State, and then and oh yeah, this is in our hotel room. So you got to take a look at this.
Oh,
Okay, this was look at that. I always wanted my picture taken with the Nittany Lion, so we finally got it. And so that's and Steve also has a picture of himself like that. Those plaid curtains are blue and white plaid curtains. You can see
And then
the
the
floor,
wallpaper.
the wallpaper, the
very
beds.
pretty.
The beds had a frame, and they had little footballs. There he is. There's Steve with his
With a
picture.
close-up.
So, yeah, that's a really good one, isn't it? So, and the beds had like footballs carved out on them, and it was just it was, and the phone was old fashioned in the room, and it
Like a rotary dial?
yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, and but it's not a real old hotel. I think they said they started it in 2014, but there was a hotel before that. But then they came in as the graduate, and but it was really fun to see. It was like a mini museum for Penn State, and then downstairs they had different sitting rooms, and they look like a library with these leather sofas and plaid cushions and lots of memorabilia of Penn State, like trophies and pictures of different teams and organizations throughout the whole thing. So it was really
Nice.
fun. Yeah. And then we saw those group with ladies, and or there was also a man there. He was a science teacher, and he's trying to bring home ec back into his school. So we talked to him, and it was just it was kind of fun, kind of reminded of what we used to do. Yeah. So
So you were at IUP, then Penn State.
yeah, and now Gloria did not get home yet. They have a day off because it's Juneteenth, and but she will go to it. She's not actually going to Temple University, but it's for Temple University. They picked another location, and she and Tommy are going to do that one. Steve and I came home to get ready for the show on Thursday night. So I thought it worked out really, really nice, and it was very successful.
And the show was on the big screen. I don't know if this is the best video because of the quality, but I got sent this video of, I think it was Kathleen and Deb.
Oh, they were
Yes.
they were showing
Yes,
They were
them.
showing the
they
video.
had 3 screens, and we were able to put yesterday's afternoon show
Oh,
for
nice.
the Enchanted Pumpkin, and we had them on the 3 screens.
Nice.
And one
So
of them
cool.
was huge, really, really big. So, and then we had, we talked about it and about our app and things. So if anybody is on and from yesterday or,
Give us a holler.
yeah,
Let us
just kind of
know.
let us know. So hopefully they'll be on or, soon.
And this is just a one day for each group.
Yeah, it was a whole day, and they had different classrooms to go to. Like some was about a culinary work and childcare, but then ours was 2 hours
Sewing.
in sewing. So
Nice.
Wow.
they need to bring it. Yeah, I hopefully they'll bring it back. Yeah.
I'm getting the footage, and I'm gonna post some of the videos that you guys took for the people to see on the Facebook group.
Oh, nice.
And Steve wants to enroll.
He's going back to school.
Yeah.
Can he stay in the hotel for his dorm? Is that what he's thinking? He and the Nittany Lion.
Yeah, that's right. And so it was really an enjoyable little trip. Yeah.
And
so
it's encouraging to know that they're bringing sewing back in as many schools as possible.
Yeah.
I guess it's up to the districts to decide
Right.
who's bringing it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we'll
Go to
start.
get to business.
Yes. Okay. So we'll go ahead, and you're going to show how to make shorts.
Right. So today we are very excited because we're doing little boy short. So this is for all of you that were waiting for something for your grandsons or your sons. So this is the Robert, and I know he gets kind of, all right, there he is. And Robert comes in a 6-month to a 6. And this is, because it's the shorts, or the shorts long pants, those are separate pattern pieces. But, and it also has the shirts. So this is my little trick. I always cut the pieces apart and put them in Ziploc bags and mark the sizes, because there are so many pieces. I don't want to lose them. And I know that the ones that we're going to make today, I'm doing size 5, but I'm also doing a 6-month size for my baby grandson. So I don't get them all confused, but it's a lot of pattern pieces. So, and they fit very nicely back onto that and go in there. So that's my quick organization, which I think it's really nice too. Okay, in your pattern, you have 2 sets of directions. The first page is the one that has the layouts on it. And then the second page, the second set of instructions are going to be the pants. And that's what we're going to use today. We're using the serger for most of it. The only thing for top stitching, so for top stitching on the pockets and on the waistband, I do that on the sewing machine. I'm going to finish these with, these were done on the sewing machine, but we're going to finish these next week with a cover stitch. So a lot of people aren't sure what a cover stitch is. So that way, not only will you learn what it is, you'll learn how to make it. And we're doing, so the kit that you get will have all 3 of these shorts in them. So you get the 3 fabrics, and then a yard of each, and then you get a 1/3 of a yard of this. This is for the pockets. These have
pocket lining. It's really cute.
It's cute.
They're really, really
and the
cute.
dots match all 3 of those.
They'd be all set for a vacation.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to Polly's Island in September, so that's what we're taking these matching ones.
Yeah.
It's always good to have kids matching when you're away. So with garments, I do, especially cotton, I do wash my fabric beforehand, which I did. You can tell the ends look a little raggier than usual.
So that's so that they would be pre-shrunk.
So that they're pre-shrunk, but cottons don't shrink like they used to, and they don't shrivel like they used to. But it's
this is good quality. So.
Yeah, and it's good to get just any of the sizing off of it, and then they're ready to wear for the kids are ready to wear them. So for the shorts, you're going to need pieces. This is 10, 11, 14, 15. So I don't know why we have so many. I think because they use them for long pants too. So it is the front, the back. We are going to put pockets in this one. This is a size 5. For the smaller ones, I don't put pockets in, especially a 6-month. That's just kind of a lot of bulk that you really don't need. But you need the pants pocket, and then this piece is the lining. So this is the only piece that you cut out of the dots.
Okay.
So we're going to put that one away. And then we have the waistband, and the waistband is going to go onto the front. And the only thing that's not in your kit is a little bit of interfacing. And I interface half of the waistband so that it's onto the front of your pants. I found that sometimes with doing 2 layers, it's a little bit bulkier, and kids don't really want to be fiddling
maybe a
all
little
up.
bit more comfortable
Yeah.
for them.
So there's that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out our fabric, and we're going to cut these. And I am a scissor cutter. I think you could probably use your rotary cutter if that's what you're more comfortable with. I have already pressed my fabric. And if you look at your fabric, this one is not a directional. If you look at, say, this fish, he goes in different directions. This fish goes in one. So, yeah, I don't think you would notice that. But it's a good idea when you're doing clothes to always do them in the same direction. So your pieces top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. It just kind of prevents any problems from happening.
This red fish is going.
He's
going
swimming
up. He's swimming up. Yeah.
So these pieces, these are your main pattern pieces, can fit side by side. The other thing you may want to do is if you see where that little fish is, I'm going to pull him down, and you want the tail of that fish to match the tail of that fish, then they'll line up a little bit better on the sides. These are not plaid or anything else, but sometimes it's nice to have them look like that.
This is the kit you were working from. We have it in the bubble.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And is there enough fabric to add a little bit of length to these shorts?
There's plenty. This is a yard, and the pattern actually, I think it's 3/4 or 5/8. We just did a yard. You can actually get 2 pair of pants out of this because they're not really that big.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So then what you want to do is you're going to measure from the fold to the grain line. And the grain line is important in clothes because it keeps it hanging straight. You can use a tape measure. You can I like using a ruler because it's flat. So it is 2 inches. And that one is.
So she's measuring one side and
inches.
she pinned it and then measured it 2 inches, so making sure 2 inches
They're both going
on
to be
their side.
the same. And I do pin. Some people like to use weights. That's fine too. If you're using a rotary cutter, you have mostly straight. You do have the bottom of your hem that goes out a little bit. So when it folds back, it's going to fit right. You'd have to be kind of careful. Maybe use a smaller one.
So she's pinning so that she can cut. So you won't have to move your pins as you're cutting.
The pins do not stick out off the pattern. Exactly. All right, then this one I can get the whole thing. And that looks pretty good. All right, so that one is straight. Ooh, I think that's a go away.
Yeah.
The problem with our pin box is that we use them for everything and they get bent and. All right, he's still. There we go. Okay, then we're going to put the. That one's really bad.
Yes, some of them, they get bent.
We put them in fabric.
In fabric so that the fabric doesn't like unroll, and they get bent sometimes.
Oops.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then this is your pocket. And then the other piece is, is our waistband.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm going to put that whole thing on the fold. And what's going to happen is I'm going to trim off my interfacing, and I'll have it all in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
That one goes on a fold. And the fold allows it to be straight, so you don't have to worry about measuring when it says to put on the fold. After you wash your fabric and you lay it out, you'll find it'll just automatically lay. If it has any bubbles in it, you just want to smooth it so it lays flat. That way you're not, you can tear it, you can pull the thread, but I think we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fabrics are made so much better than they used to be.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I think I'm going to flip this one just so get that straighter edge there.
So you're measuring now from the grain line to the
yep,
selvage.
To the selvage. All right, and that looks, and the selvage is the raw edge. I think we need to open that box of pins.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. This one has a really cute selvage. I know a friend of mine collects these. I don't know what she's making with them, but the selvage on these are cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if someone gave me like a hot pad, and it was all the salvages, and she sewed them all together. But this one's called Surf's Up, and look, you have all this. It shows the color that's in all the colors that are in the fabric.
Yeah, so if you've never noticed that is what the decorations on the selvage, it shows you the color. So if you're ever trying to color match, if you just take that selvage strip with you, you can color match your colors. All right, so we're going to cut these out. When cutting with scissors, you want to make sure your fabric is flat. It's a little different than rotary. If you're using a rotary, you want to use a little skinny one to go around the curves. But keep your fabric as flat as possible.
And that's why she's using a bent handled shear. Dressmaker shears have a bent handle, so you can keep your blades flat against the table.
And your hand is not cramped like the old ones when you were trying to cut and the scissors are down here.
Yeah.
The bent ones definitely make a difference. I think the tailors probably all had really nice bent handles. And those were usually massive. All right.
Those sound so good.
Don't
They do. They sound great. I hope you can hear that. So she's using the Kai scissors.
The Kai scissors, yeah. All right. This is a pair of pants that once you do one, you do a lot because they're such a good basic pair of pants.
Oh yeah, Carol just mentioned salvage. So people make projects out of salvage.
Yeah, they'll save them and put things together. Yeah.
Carol posted a picture on our Facebook group.
With salvage?
Pumpkin Kisses salvage.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. So she posted a picture of the Pumpkin Kisses salvage. Oh. Okay.
I went to the Sewing and Quilting Expo a couple years ago, and it was in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and they had a quilt made, and it was like diamonds, and all of them were salvage pieces. That seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the quilt show at the Meadows that had the 1-inch pieces.
Oh.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I like bigger pieces sew together.
1-inch pieces. So
Yeah, it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so by cutting the waistband, I have the waistband and then I have the interfacing at the same time. And I do not throw scraps of Shapeflex away. Shapeflex is the multi-purpose. It's the best interfacing. You can use it on t-shirt quilts. You can use it on regular quilts. We use it in embroidery. It's a good woven interfacing. All right, and then
do you know what size those shears are?
I think these are 8.5.
8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nines I find are a little bit too big.
So you've all these left. So you could probably get
So
another pair.
That's for my 6-month-old. But you could probably, let's see, could we do?
Let's see if
This
you
is
do
a
another.
5. You could.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the longer one here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this one.
That's the waistband.
Mm-hmm.
You could always cut a waistband.
Oh yeah, down here.
Single,
Right.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So
And that was a
plenty of
size 5.
fabric. Yep, that's a size 5.
If you have twins, they could probably get.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I have twin sons. The only time I ever dressed them alike was when I couldn't find a fabric that I liked as well.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay, so you always
So I
gave them different fabric.
If people gave us gifts like a red and a blue or a yellow and a green, so it was always one got the blue and one got the red, so that I never got those mixed up.
Oh.
Okay, then this one is piece 20. And this is our lining. And you will have plenty of fabric for, sorry to see through that end, that's better. You'll have plenty of fabric for your lining pieces too. All right, so that one's good. I love polka dots. I think it's a good accent for anything. Okay, and we'll
There you
cut
go.
these. I used to cut on the floor, but now since I have a hard time getting up,
Yeah.
I put my cutting board on I have a cutting mat, I put it on my dining room table. I don't have a dining room table officially, it's a 6-foot table until we find where we're going to live permanently. And then we'll get a dining room table again.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You better take a break from yard work, Joanne. It's too hot. You
Yeah.
need to,
There's somebody doing
you
yard
might
work.
need to make these.
Oh, yes. These are great.
Yes.
And-
Definitely. It's too hot to
and
be outside for
fabrics
more
are
than
so
15
cute.
minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can take really all the pins out. There aren't a lot of markings on this. There's a fold line on the short. The pattern is the one that 12, 13, 16, 17. It's the shorts and the pants back. So if you want to just snip or mark it with your marking pencil, I find that I don't want to use the friction to do markings on these because I'm going to be pressing them.
Mm-hmm. And then they'd
And
be
the
gone.
markings
So.
will be gone. So I find that works better. And this one has the front, so there's not much marking on them either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's all of our pieces, and then
Do quilters cut differently when they use scissors than garment sewers? That's a me question. I'll
Yes.
ask the stupid questions here.
what I realized is that most quilters use a rotary cutter. So they're not really, they would use scissors to snip and not really be cutting full lengths.
Okay.
And so that's the difference, yeah. And as a garment sewer, when rotary cutters came out, I really didn't find a big need for one. So I had one just because, it's a new piece of equipment, so you buy it. But I really didn't use it that often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me put all my pieces together. So I won't need any more of these. So I always press my pattern pieces before I lay them out. It does give you a little static, so it helps them to stick.
Well, it's good to see new patterns because the big, our Vogue, McCall Simplicity, and they don't have as many patterns as they did.
And I think they're all the same company now.
Yeah.
Which really, it kind of has destroyed the competition of
Right.
trying to get things to market. And it's been kind of
So it's nice to see other places to order patterns.
All right, so that was that instruction. And then we're going to go to our first one. And we're going to use sergers today. So before we get started on the serger, we can tell you a little bit about the sergers. I can show you on the inside. So this is a pair that's finished, so you can see exactly what it looks like. All right, this pair is serged, and this pair is not. This pair I just did on the sewing machine. So you can do them either way.
Do Children's Corner patterns have alignment triangles or dots?
Not usually. If there's something, I know on the Lillian dress, there was a square and a triangle, and we clipped to the square, and we sewed to the bottom, and then when you folded it back, it made that hem flatter. Yeah.
I noticed that on the patterns, they don't have the dots and notches like we used to use. Like right on the cutting line, they'll just have another little line that about 1/4 of an inch long, and it's going right angles to the cutting line.
Some patterns don't have notches anymore. They just have line. They'll just be like 2 lines. So the back of anything is a double notch. The front is a single notch. So if you're putting a sleeve in something and you're not sure which side is which, the front is always the single and the back is the double. Down the center front, anything on the center front would have a single. Anything on the back would have a double or a triple if they've sometimes if they've run out of things to mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Jane, no, not off topic. We were just talking about salvages. Maybe she missed us.
Oh, so Joni said she has a pot holder.
Yeah, it was like a hot pad, and it was made of strips of salvages. That's something fun to do. I guess it's some of the salvages will have like a little saying on them, or they'll put the designer's name and the name of the fabric. And I know some people cut them off and save them and then make projects out of them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some more of these salvage projects.
There's a lot. The Coming Up Roses, and I can't remember. It's every year. It's like a joy, like visions of joy or words of joy, but they have words on theirs.
Well, we won't get too off topic. We'll get back to subject.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So this pair has overcast stitches that were done on the sewing machine.
That's what kind of stitch is that?
These are overcast stitches using the G foot on your regular sewing machine. And I think that one, let me see.
It's usually
it's probably 16, 17, and 18 on the sewing machine.
On the Solaris.
On any of them. On any of them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 16, 17, 18. And they all look the same. Those are the 3 standard overcast stitches on a baby lock. So this one was the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was 16, I think.
16. Okay.
Yeah. And then the only other thing would be the back seam. So whereas on the Serger, the seams, you can see they look different. And a lot of people ask about doing, when they do overcast stitches on their machine, if it looks like a Serger. No, it really doesn't. I mean, we can make an overlock, but it's never going to look like a Serger.
That is so cool. Okay, the different techniques.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and with the Sergers are very different too. We have 4 threads that are a 4 thread, which is just a basic Serger. And then we have the 8 threads, which do the regular serging, and then they do a cover stitch, their combination machine. So next week we'll bring the Triumph in with the cover stitch.
Okay.
So that we can finish our hems with a cover stitch, which looks like 2 rows of stitching, and it's what you have at the bottom of, on the bottom of knits.
So yeah.
It's 2 rows of stitching. And if you have sweatshirts or t-shirts, most of them look like that, and that's a cover stitch. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you want to go out?
Okay. And
let's
We want
see.
to do
Are
here.
we ready to do here?
We can be.
Or do you
Okay.
need a little time to set up and we could go
Well,
talk about Sergers?
do you want
out
to talk
there?
about sergers in there, and then we can come back and I'll show you how, and we're going to
That
thread
sounds
this. We're
good.
going to thread this machine, because that's the other thing is we have a lot of people that they hate their serger because they have to thread it.
Yeah. Yesterday I asked them how many people have Sergers, and they would raise their hand
Halfway.
and then they would say how many of you use them, and then
Fewer hands.
if they're hard to thread, people just kind of give up and but these are not hard to thread.
Yeah, and that's what Baby Lock. When a lot of people that have never heard of Baby Lock, they always wonder why we're Baby Lock. Where did that come from? Because Baby Locks brought sergers to the home market, and they were the first one. So it's Baby Lock for that reason. Our overlockers.
Okay.
Okay.
So we want to.
Joni and I will
Okay.
go out here.
Okay. We'll
and
go out here.
Yep.
Meet you back
Okay.
here in a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
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 Which one do you want to do first?
I think we'll do this one first. So.
Okay.
Okay.
This is, what are we looking at?
Okay, this is the Celebrate, and this is kind of like the beginning of the line of the true Baby Lock sergers. And so it does, it is a 4-thread serger, and you can sew with 4, 3, or 2 threads. And it's a great machine, but it does have the tension disc. They're not hard to use. They're not as finicky as they used to be years ago. There is a page in the manual that tells you what to set all of your tensions on it for each particular stitch. So you can see right now it would be set up just for a regular 4-thread machine, and they're all on 4. And they kind of mark that with a black box around on the back of it to know that that's a normal setting for that particular stitch. And then when you get to the rolled hem and things like that, you do have to change the loopers a little bit. Okay, it does have the jet air threading right here. So these 2 threads are for the loopers. There's an upper looper right here. It's the one on top. It looks a little bit like a knitting needle. So that's the upper looper, and then this is the lower looper. So this is the lower looper thread, and then the upper looper thread, and then the right needle and the left needle. So that's and it's there. So all I do is drop the thread down into the little port and push this down, and it sends it through with the air. Okay, and then this one is the Acclaim. This is also a 4-thread serger, but you can see it's a bit bigger, and so you also can sew with 4, 3, or 2 threads. It has a little bit more room for you to get your hand in here. This one has you can do the overlock, everything you can do on this Celebrate, but it also has the wave stitch. So the wave stitch is a decorative stitch, and it looks like it waves. You would put two different colors in the upper and the lower looper, and it turns and it looks like a little wave. It's a really pretty stitch, and we use it as much as we can. We love the wave stitch. This one also does not have the tension dials. So it has what we call the stitch selector, and it comes with a chart, and it tells you exactly how to set the machine up for each one of the different techniques. So you don't have to memorize this or anything. You have a chart that will let you know what to put it on. And then it kind of sets the tension when you change the stitch selector. So inside there's like discs, and they move around for the different positions of the stitch selector. And then so you just put your thread in, and it automatically adjusts the tension when you use the stitch selector. Then also it does have the threading ports for the lower and the upper looper. And so that you just put them in and send them through. There's a push button for that. And then this one will automatically thread the needles with the jet air threading. The Celebrate has a needle threader, but it is a little bit more like the threading on your sewing machine. It has a little switch on it, which you set it to the right when you're doing the right needle, and you move it to the left when you're doing the left needle, and you just bring the needle threader down and slide it underneath, and it will thread it. This one, you bring the needle threader down, but there they probably should. Let's see, go to threading. There, and then you just hold the thread and push that button, and it will kind of pull it in for you. So it's a little bit easier. Yeah, so that's the difference between the two of them. And so this one's a little bit more automatic than that one. But I do love this machine. You know, we always tell people that if you want a Serger, get a baby lock, because they're a little bit more expensive, but they always work, and they're easy to use.
Easy to use.
Easy, yeah. You're very user friendly. Okay. It's not one they're going to put aside and say, why did I buy that? Yeah, it's easy to use. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, okay. We've got one more Serger.
Okay, and then we're going to go in here and look at this one. And this is, okay.
So over there we have the Acclaim and
the Celebrate.
The Celebrate.
And this one is a limited edition it's called the 55th anniversary model. So it is a little bit like both of those machines. It's a little bit smaller like the Celebrate, but it has the wave stitch, and it also has the jet air threading for the upper loopers. We're going to do that, and it also has the needle threader like the Celebrate. So it's like a combination of those two.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it has the wave stitch, and we've had Sergers similar to this before, but they did not have that wave stitch,
which is exclusive to Baby Lock.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see.
All right, so we are going to thread our machine, and I opted for a thread that I thought matched the fabric. But you can always use just white, and a lot of people, that's what they like. All right, so this is I was taught to pull it all the way down to your lap. Oh, we have to set it. We're threading. And then if you watch in here, it's going to lock, and it locks the channels that's going to send the thread to the upper and the lower loopers. Mm-hmm. So we're on the lower looper first.
And before you hit the button, show them where it's going to come out so they know where to look.
You're going to look over here.
Okay, yeah.
And this one, you would just push the button, and there's your thread.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
That color showed up good. So
again, there's a lot of magic with Baby Lock. All right, then we're going to do the upper thread. Again, down to your lap. This end doesn't, the end is bending, so you want it to go straight in. And you don't want to lick your fingers and to lick your thread because that's not good for your machine. And there went the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful.
Wow.
All right, then we're going to do the needles. And then this comes up and around. And here goes this crazy chair on this crazy floor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this needle threader, there's a left and a right. So since we're doing the right needle first, we shift it to the right. And then we bring
See if I
that
can
forward.
get around
And you
so we
can
can
kind
see.
of feel underneath it when it hooks. And then, oh, well. I think it came
I'm going
off.
to try to get over your shoulder a little bit. There we go.
Got it? And then it pulls the thread back.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure you're not unthreading it because that's happened before. Okay. Then we take the left and we do the same thing. We are up, yes. And then we move this to the left. So as you can see, then it comes to the other side. Oh, I didn't have it caught. There we go.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Different.
Yeah.
Definitely different. And so the Celebrate has a similar? Or?
Yeah, the Celebrate has one like this.
Yeah. All right, those are all through. So we've got 1, 2. There's my ends. All right, so we have all 4 threads. And I like to take them under. So they're in the back. All right. Then we go back to serging. We're not doing anything tricky on this one.
Okay, I just wanted to show them the quick the quick reference guide. So you don't really have to know how to thread the serger. You just need to know how to read this chart. So what you would do is go and find the technique that you want to do. In this case, it would be the 4-thread overlock. And then right here it tells you what needles to use. We're using both needles, what to set the stitch length at, what to set the stitch width at, and what to put the stitch selector at. So they're lettered A, B, C, or D. And then also the wave selector, and this time it will be on overlock. So it's all right here.
And we're doing 4. So we have it's down on overlock, it's on A.
Yeah.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
I think we're on the right, yeah. And then what do we have?
This one is the width is between 6 and 7.5.
Okay.
I usually put it on 7. And then the length is between 2.5 and 3.5.
Okay, and that's where that is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
4-thread overlock.
4-thread overlock.
Okay.
And
Should we grab something to
grab
sew with? Should we do a
I was
test
just going to
sew?
grab, just grab a little piece of fabric so we can just run a test through it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use this one.
Does this kit include the pattern? No.
No, the pattern is sold separately.
The pattern is sold separately, and Robert, the pattern is in the bubble now.
Right.
Okay.
And the other thing that there's also a little tiny pattern piece that says piece 21, and it's the pants pocket template. And why they put it in there is if you are not using the pocket, you want your side front to be flat. So they give you the option if you're going to do the pants and you want to cut that corner out of your front.
Where'd it go? There it is.
So that now you have, well, you will have, that's going to be your front. and you can see where the pockets are going to go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is put our sample under here.
Okay.
We make sure that our serger.
Now in the bubble is this special edition.
Is the serger.
Serger. Okay.
It's the best of both worlds. All right, so there's a knife on here that is going to cut. And you want to look. And with a baby lock, you can also stitch off. And there's a thread cutter. So you look at your stitch, and you make sure that your stitch is balanced on both sides, which it is.
Beautiful.
It really, yeah, a baby lock makes a really nice machine. Okay, so the first we're doing, all right, so on our instructions, we are 1, 2, 3, we're at 4, and we're going to stitch our lining to our pants.
Okay.
Again, we are right sides together.
Oops, let's see if I can get a good view of that. There we go.
All right, so we're pinning. Well, we're not pinning. I really don't pin. You can when you use a serger, but you have to make sure you don't. You really don't want to run over pins on a serger.
No.
That's really bad. So we're going to come over. It's a 1/4 inch seam, which is right along the edge of the serger. And then when you do curve, you want to try to straighten it as much as you can. These curves are a little tricky. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And then when we flip it, because it's not, we didn't pink it or anything, but because it's serged, it gives it a little more flexibility, so that that's going to lay really flat when that's pressed. So we do both of those.
I'll turn your iron on.
Yes,
Okay.
please. We always have ironing to do with, or pressing, I should say, not ironing. We have pressing to do when you do clothes. All right. So that is that one. The other piece that we have is your waistband. They tell you in the second step to press your interface or iron your interfacing onto your waistband, which I happen to have laid out here. I think they try to do things so that you're doing one movement, not having to get up and down. So that's going to be your waistband. Look how cute that is. All right, so for your shorts, when you press them, if you press your seam away first, and then when you bring it around, it lays pretty flat. If you are using a sewing machine, I would pink that seam to reduce the bulk on it. But this kind of, funny how that works. All right, so that does that one. And then if you would like, at this point, if you want to top stitch it, it's really nice to do a little edge stitch on it And I think I'm going to do that on the Solaris.
Well, let's see. It's 1 o'clock now.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to jump over to the Solaris? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And then, well, actually, you know what? Let's do, yeah, because in order to get to top stitch, you have to do it before you put the back of the pocket on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so we have these ready.
Okay, and you
roll.
need white thread in.
I have white thread in. I decided that would be nice.
Okay.
And I think, yep, we'll just use 3. And I'm just going to do
I'm going to try to tuck in over. Oh, I'll come to this side.
Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so I just have the J foot on. I'm just going to shift it over a little bit to give me a little bit closer. Yeah, I like that. And I've just set the lock, the reverse stitch, and the scissor function.
So it's going to reverse and cut.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then show them.
So I'm just running the inside edge of the pocket along the inner edge of the threads. So there's one. And
It looks so good.
thanks. The curve, you're still curving it while you're pushing your pants back. Okay. Now we can go back to pinning and or laying it on there and serging.
Okay.
All right. Then we are at step 5. We take our, there's a lot going on. All right. So the pants are going to match. So that's how you know that you have the right sides on them. You flip them back and you lay the bottom, and we probably want to put a pin in this. And you bring it around. That probably needs a little press to get that wrinkle out of it. Make it lay a little flatter.
The 55th anniversary. What are we calling this, Serger? Is it the 205?
Let's see what. They're just calling it the 55th anniversary. This is the 55th anniversary series. So
EF 205.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty impressive. It's 55 years that Baby Lock's been doing
55 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's longer than I've been sewing.
Jackie said it sounded like a little workhorse. And it did. It sounded pretty smooth.
Yeah. And a serger is not going to be as quiet as your your sewing machine.
Not
just
going to be as
the
quiet.
nature of it. No, just the nature of a serger.
It's
a little more industrial.
Industrial. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, they just call it the 55th anniversary limited edition.
Limited edition.
And I think it has the wave stitch. That kind of makes it a little bit different than the regular for the one that's similar to this.
Right.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about the differences of the different Sergers and maybe what is on that shelf behind this.
Oh, that is an old baby
That's a
lock.
really old one.
That's just there for decoration. Yeah,
I'm not sure I want to thread that one.
That is a 4-thread though. They used to make them a 3-thread. We didn't have the 2 seams in them, so it's not as old as it could be. Yeah,
It's not as old as
it could be. Yeah.
I have a friend that she's the queen of Sergers. She started working in a factory with the Serger, and then when they brought them to the home market, she knew what to do with them. And she uses the 3-thread. She's a quilter, and she uses the 3-thread when she buys fabric. She runs it through the edges so that all of her fabrics are neat and tidy when she's going to do her work.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that much time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I might have shifted your Serger a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get
Well,
back
as long as
around.
I don't fall off the chair, we're good.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to stitch our pocket to the pocket lining. Okay.
We lost our foot.
Yeah.
I need the foot.
Lost our gas pedal.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right. Again, so we're getting to a corner. You can take your corners kind of slow. There we go. Straighten your fabric a little. But this looks really nice. I like the blue thread too. I think that really looks good on that.
To zoom in.
It's cute. So already the pocket's done.
Yeah, that's so cute. And it looks good.
Fantastic.
All right, let's do the other one, and then we can sew that seam together. Oh, the other thing with a serger, you're not locking your stitches. So, and this is all going to be covered.
Yeah.
But if you have a seam that is not going to be covered, you want to use a double-eyed needle to run it back through.
You didn't bring one.
We'll do. No, I have one, but we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that next time.
Right. I never.
Yeah.
I never do it if it's going to be sewn over with
right.
another seam. So I don't do that because that will lock the stitches in place. But if it's
Right.
just a seam, like maybe at the bottom, well, even that one has the hem. But if it's just like if it just ends, then I take a double dyed needle.
The pillowcases.
Right.
We need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just thread it back underneath the previous stitch.
Okay, so I'm going to do the last seam on here, which is our center front, which I believe. Yes.
Do you want to come up? Okay.
Just make sure that's where I am.
Just double check.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that is our center front.
Okay.
All right.
Really
Perfect.
good. Perfect.
Looks very good.
Yeah, very good.
All right. And I would press, because I press this to one side. Doesn't really matter left or right. So that is the front. I pin the top and the side of the shorts just so that they're together. You can probably just serge down if you wanted, or I would baste it on the sewing machine just so that it's all together in one.
Okay.
I think
that's a pretty big compliment from
What?
Joni. She says your surging is perfect.
Yeah.
I believe her.
Yeah.
That is quite.
Thank you. I used to
something.
have an old Serger that I hated.
Yeah.
And then I bought a Triumph, and I've been practicing. So thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really want to get into the like really quickly doing some of the things with the I can just go and surge that. My friend that has the Serger and has all the experience, she quilts with her Serger.
Yes.
She does
a lot
everything
of people
with
do
it.
that.
Interesting.
So we all want to be doing a little bit more. All right, so
Well, let's
end here.
let's cut here because
Okay.
there's some questions
Okay.
Okay.
and then there's some products.
Yeah.
And
they're-
then we got to get ready for Kimberbell.
Yeah,
So-
that's
Yeah,
right.
Kimberbell
Okay.
this afternoon, and they had pretty sunflowers. Kathy was looking for a vase. She was going to decorate our space too.
The store is open today, but
The
it's
store is
busy.
open
It is very busy. So lots of people in today. It's very exciting. Let's see. Can you buy those chairs with the arms on it?
I've never seen one with arms on it, but
These are the koala chairs.
Right.
the koala, yeah,
And the arrows
then-
don't either.
yeah, and the arrows.
Most prefer
Maybe
them,
we'll look around for one.
most,
The only-
most prefer them without arms.
But I
Yeah.
can tell you, I have an office chair that I've had forever in my sewing when I had a sewing room, and I am looking to not have the arms because, well, it's too bulky for my little space now. But when you move back and forth with it, it knocks things.
Oh,
Off.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
if
I don't
you're-
know that arms
If
are
you're
great.
embroidering too, you have to be careful
Right.
that you don't accidentally
Yeah.
don't bump
Yeah.
bump your hoop.
Yeah. And especially
But we'll
like
look
when
around
you're
and see.
sewing space, machine to machine too.
Two perfectionists. Another great compliment coming from
Yeah.
Ruth Ann.
Oh,
That is
Ruth Ann, the
Yeah.
queen of perfectionism.
Yeah,
Yes.
compliments flying everywhere. Let's see. I saw someone ask a good question. What is the most difficult thing about getting into garment sewing?
I
So if
think probably the fit.
Yeah.
the fit.
Yeah. So if you're going to start with garments, you should start with straighter things, just because it's
Yeah.
much easier.
Yeah. Don't get real fitted things.
Don't start with
Until you
don't start with a pair of pants either.
Yeah. Yeah. I would get like looser things, and they do make
Yeah.
patterns in multi sizes now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't start with anything that's fitted.
If you're doing garments for yourself and you're looking at commercial patterns, McCall's has a line. They're Palmer Pletch, and it's Patty Palmer and Susie Pletch. They've been doing this for a long time, and their patterns give you fit instructions. They give you sewing instructions. Those are better patterns of any that I know of. There's a lot of independent lines. Cutting line, I know, is one that I really like. That she tells you how to measure yourself so that you always know what size you need to buy, which is really smart.
Presser foot that cuts also.
Well, they have
The side cutter.
Side cutter, yeah.
Side
And
cutter.
and you use your overcasting stitches, but it does cut and then it overcasts. It's not as nice as a serger, but it does give that more of a serger look because it cuts
Because it
the
cut it.
fabric and then it overcasts. Whereas if you just use an overcasting stitch and then trim off the seam allowance, you still have some raw edges.
Right.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
can we just go back through the different
Definitely,
sergers
somebody
that we
said
Yeah.
little kids things.
Okay.
Yes, little kids are the easiest things to sew because you don't have
Yeah,
to
you
really
really-
worry about the fit. And the only I think the biggest difference with kid sizes would be if you have a tall, adding
Sure.
length and stuff, and length is super easy to add. So,
Yeah.
yeah, agreed.
Okay. All right.
Do you
so
wanna
you want to
just
get
go through the different sergers
Okay.
that we
The
have?
first one is the 55th anniversary model, and that is right over here. This is the one that we sewed
Yeah,
on
that's
today.
what we're sewing on.
And so it's a limited edition, and it's a 4-thread serger with the wave stitch, and you don't have any tension dials, and so it is a really nice serger. If you'd like to try the wave stitch, I think that's always a fun stitch to use.
So it's got the wave stitch. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The
Celebrate was in the other room, and that one is similar to the Victory, except that it has the tension disc. They're not as hard to use as they were years and years ago. But there is a chart in the manual that tells you, like if you want to do a rolled hem, it'll tell you to put the lower looper on 6 and the upper looper on 4. And so it tells you exactly how to set them. And it also has the jet air threading for the loopers, and it has a needle threader.
And then the last one we had was the
Acclaim. The Acclaim is a little bit bigger than like the limited edition one, the anniversary model,
like
and the Celebrate is a little bit bigger, and it also has the wave stitch, and it doesn't it has doesn't have any of the tension dials.
So people love the Acclaim, and I've heard many compliments that the Acclaim is the next one you would go to.
I'm not sure what the prices are, but they're
these are
pretty similar.
These are not the correct prices. You'd have to call Steve for the best price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there is not much difference in price between the limited edition and the Acclaim.
The Acclaim.
So I think a lot of people just get the Acclaim because it's a little bit bigger, and it has the jet air threading for the needles.
Does the Acclaim have the wave stitch?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The Acclaim does have the wave stitch. So many people tend to just, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit
Right.
further and just get the Acclaim.
Yeah.
And that's never a bad way to go is
Yeah.
make that choice.
It's a nice serger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very helpful, all of this.
Okay.
I'll look for any other questions, but what do we have at 3 o'clock?
Oh, Kimberbell at 3
Kimberbell,
o'clock.
yes.
And they're doing something with sunflowers.
Yes. There's something for
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
Is it the runner? No. They're stitching something up. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It'll be a surprise. Kathy was over there working on it.
Yeah. And then do we have any other items to sell?
We just
Did we go through all of them?
we went through the
Okay.
Robert pattern and the kit here.
Okay.
So I'll just click on those just one more time to. We do have these Robert patterns, and the kits are ready too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else we wanted to talk about? No,
I think
Okay.
we've got everything.
that's
Yeah.
that's about it.
Okay.
So
So next week we'll be back and we'll finish the shorts, and I'll have a lined pair to show you as well. We'll
next
be
week,
busy surging next week. Yes.
Okay.
all right.
All right.
All right.
Have a
We'll
good day.
See you at 3 o'clock.
See you at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.